We are doing the PFunny comedy show for those of you that are just popping in or tuning in. This is a comedy show with real comedians, no amateurs. And the way it works is these real comedians that are going to be on the show will be doing long sets. None of this 5-minute, 7-minute open mic stuff. No, they're going to be doing 15 minutes, maybe more. I had a comic on a couple of weeks ago. She did 22 minutes. And I want it to be where the comics say, okay, I'm done. I'm finished. Thank you very much. I want it to be their show. And then we talk. If there's somebody watching on the outside who's just watching, they have questions, they can jump right in. And when it's over, whoever hangs out, we just hang out until we run out of air. But I want it to be a comfortable place for everybody to like. Rob and I were just talking, and it's like we've known each other all our lives. We have a direct connection.
It's ridiculous, you know. There's so many biases, I believe is the plural, and prejudices.
Oh crap! I gotta put myself on mute. I've got a call coming in. Let's talk to Ruth.
Hey.
Hello?
Hello, Ruth?
Oh, the meeting code. All right. Am I muted yet?
There we go.
Am I not muted? All right. In case anybody's watching, the meeting code is 911 322 329. Look, I think it's 6. Yeah, 3296. And then the password would be just my first name. All right. So we're live right now. You're on the air already. Everybody's listening to you.
Is that uppercase or lowercase, Perry?
All right. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Oh, I fell for that.
Yeah. Right. Upper or lowercase. I didn't think of that. No, you're absolutely right. So that's one of our stars on the way down.
So we have in this life, we find out, you know, I live this parallel life to you, living on in a whole other country, different nationhood and all that. And we find out, you know, we probably have thousands of mutual friends the ones who sort of venture out beyond a certain radius from their homes. I was kept at home to raise children. That was my own desire. That's why I had kids. It's not just to fill a vagina with baby juice, but to be out and be a parent. You know, I'm over it now.
Good for you.
No, I'm over it. Like I fucking hate my kids, but
I hear that a lot.
I'm not, you know, but I gave my son a hug the other day, and I lingered. I did the linger.
Yeah.
You know, when you do the linger where you hold, yeah, and you're just like, oh, and he smells like a man now, right? Which isn't good. It's not good. No, but you do it. You have that hug. So I'm loving parenthood is over. Now, just because I didn't get the sentence right there, doesn't mean that you didn't get the meaning. I've got 5 more fucking years of this, and my one son didn't go to school today. Like, so they're at school here. I don't know. Everybody's got a different thing.
How old's the youngest?
He's 13. You know,
and the oldest,
also 13. No, he's 18. Oldest one. And my one son said to me today, he goes, I'm worried about the older one. And I said, what about him? He goes, well, he's got a lot of friends that are girls. I said, yeah, he does. It worries me too. And I said, why does it worry you? He says, because I think he might be gay. And I said, no, I think it's because he communicates his emotions, and he's a successful communicator, because that's what we fucking raised. We didn't raise macho men. We raised, you know, we spend enough time in cities that they're used to culture, where you spend a lot of time. Now we live in the country-ish, right? Suburban Victoria, which is, you know, there's chickens beside me. You wake me up every day. Like, I love that. Not much. I don't love that a lot, but you know what I mean? Like, you have that parent thing.
Yeah, we have a rooster in our neighborhood. I've actually gone out there. Oh my God, another fucking call. All right, let's see if I can really.
I'll handle the gap. I'll handle the gap here.
You can talk to Erica. Erica, talk to him.
Is it Erica or is it Erica Innes or is it Eric Keynes?
Erica Innes.
Erica Innes.
Because I'm related to Innes's.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I have a new show on YouTube called I Know We're Related, and I can figure out how we're related.
Oh my gosh, that would be cool. I would love to see that happen.
Would be. It is.
The Innes clan is not that big a clan, especially with the spelling I have. It depends. If it's Ennis, that's more Irish. This is the Scottish spelling.
Yeah.
So the Scottish
I know exactly
clan,
where you're from.
Yeah. Where? Guess.
Northern Scotland. Don't say no.
Yeah, I'm looking on a map for the thing that I know because I don't know. I know where it is. Hold on.
You're in my tree. I literally know you're related because of your name.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And here's the funny thing.
It's
not funny.
It's Inverness.
Inverness, yeah.
From in part of Inverness, and they were Highlander Scots.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to say that, okay? Because I am Scottish.
Okay.
And you've got 2 K's in your name, and someone did that to you.
My mom did that.
Is she Norwegian?
My dad's Norwegian.
Wow.
So your parents aren't married?
What?
Your bio parents, were they married?
Like, do you know something about my history and you're just being an asshole to me on air?
I am a bit of both.
Yeah, so stop.
But no, I'm guessing because if you're using your last name, Innes, and your dad's Norwegian, and Innes is not Norwegian, then
he's Scottish Norwegian.
Oh, okay. Well, so am I.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a Simpson, a Sinclair, and a Sutherland from that area, among other names. And then the Innes's are connected about 300 years ago.
Yeah. It's a small tree. I know that. Here, I'll put this on.
It's a straight tree.
By the way, Erica, we are live on Facebook now.
That's
there
okay.
she is. Hi, Erica.
There she is. And how long have I known you? 20 years?
A long time.
You were like 9 when I first met you.
I think if you met me here in LA, so
yeah,
it was like 30 or something.
Yeah, wow.
So Erica, you look like a lot of my relatives. So okay, so I know. Perry, I'm not kidding about the show idea.
That's fucking hysterical. I love the whole concept.
And what it is you do the interview, you do the pre-interview, and you tape that. Don't anyone take my idea. Fuck, I should shut up. And then what you do is, we do the DNA. So that ends up proving it or not, right? And that's kept secret. And then I try to work your tree back to where we're related.
That's cool.
Yeah, but
that's a lot though if you have to donate DNA to the show.
Well, I figure you haven't committed any crimes. And here's the thing. I feel sorry for the relatives of people who've committed crimes. For the fact that they give up their DNA, you give up your DNA and then I can find the killer. Like, sorry about that. I feel sorry for that.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think of that. I guess that's true, huh?
Yeah. Well, and that's how they found the California, the Bay Area or the Oakland Strangler or whatever it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. First of all, the guy's white. Like, find me a black serial killer. Not happening. What is it with white men that they need to go out and strangle people? Right. I know
the people that are out there. Sometimes it's justified.
Yeah, but not multiple times.
Oh,
it's not like, I've got to use these giant hands of mine to strangle these people still.
Maybe he's practicing for a competition.
He's a competition strangler.
Yeah.
I like it.
He's doing the Strangle Fest.
He's doing the San Francisco Strangle Fest.
Yeah.
Redding, California Strangle Fest.
Yep. It's not hard to get in. You just gotta have blood, either yours or somebody else's. It doesn't really matter.
So, Erica, how long have you known Perry?
I would say like a fairly long time now. Let's guess. Like maybe about 8 years.
Yeah, at
Right.
least.
8.
Yeah.
This is the 9th year probably.
Okay, Erica, by the way, I love your hair, and I'm gonna say why. Because your face is so beautiful. And I mean that. What I mean by this is you
My
have
hair
no wrinkles. You have no wrinkles. Where are the wrinkles?
Oh, maybe it's just the bad lighting. I don't know.
Go with that. Sure. No, it's genes. That's how I know you're related to me. It's the good skin. But what I'm getting at is I'm 59, right? I'm not going to ask how old you are, but I think you've embraced so much, and it shows that you have no, you know what I mean? Like you've embraced your aging. I'm tired of watching people pumped up on Botox.
Oh God, yeah, I hate that.
Oh, I don't really know how to use it. Otherwise, I get it. I don't know.
I use it on my eardrums, on my earlobes. I have really nice earlobes.
Wow.
Imagine?
Yeah, I didn't even know that you can. I thought like the filler for lips was permanent. I didn't realize like it goes away, so you could get it.
Oh, I didn't know that. It's got to be replaced.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is neat. I thought, like, I've seen people sometimes where I'm like, oh, that woman looks horrible. They have like the injection is too much or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
But you can do something. There's two things you can do. One thing, you can do it where it'll dissolve it and get rid of it, and then you could start over, or you wait and your body absorbs it back. It like absorbs it.
Yeah.
Something, and then it's the same for the ones here. So like apparently like on a lot of them, you have to keep getting them, but that means if you've messed up, like it's not like this permanent thing necessarily.
I heard this weekend that they've come up with tattoos that fade away in 4 to 9 months, but they cost like $400 or $500.
They have a version of that for makeup.
Wow. You can get permanent makeup and eventually, oh man. See, I don't wear makeup. This is my skin, and I'm 70. I'm trying to wrinkle my forehead, but my family, we have really good skin. My skin is so soft, and I'm 70, and I got all my hair, and my doctor thinks it's because I'm active.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be. They said that like after a certain age, a lot of stuff is like use it or lose it. So
right, always is
out a lot, or they're being active mentally. I mean, that makes sense, right? Like you're mentally active, you're physically active, your body and your brain are going to work better than if you don't use them for stuff.
Yeah, when I was getting the radiation, my doctor was telling me that my liver was closing up after they vaporized the tumor. It closed up quickly. And he said to me, I've looked at your EKG. Are you an athlete or a juggler? I said, what? He said, your brain works really fast. You take things, you know how to move it around quickly. I said, no, I'm a comedian. He goes, oh, that makes sense. I said, what are you talking about? He says, well, the brain controls how quickly the body rehabilitates itself. And if you've got a quick brain, it sends impulses out, stronger impulses to different parts of the body to repair itself. I mean, I get a sore, it's gone in a couple of days. And this thing, I'm a textbook case. He said he's never seen anyone recover as quickly, but it's the same type of thing. The body will absorb it. I mean, do fake boobs shrink up too?
Those
No.
are different because they're in like a bag.
Oh, that's good. So you can go shopping later.
Hello.
I don't know if they have one where you could just inject it that way. That's a good question, because like if you could do it to your face, why isn't there like something? Yeah, I don't know.
It might be cost prohibitive.
Like it's so much that like to get the size boob you want or something. Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah. Today I want. Let's go with the double D's, and I've taken out a loan against my house. I've remortgaged, and I'd like double D's.
Yeah, I sold 2 of the kids so I can afford this. So Max Bird is now here. Max, are you there? Are you okay? Are you alive? I see your picture. I don't hear your voice.
Uh-oh.
Putting it on gallery view this way. That's the lovely Max Bird down there. I know
Yay.
Max personally.
Hello, Max.
And
Hi, Max.
might be driving. Might be driving on the way here. So yeah. Yeah, I see these people with the Botox and the fake lips, and especially the lips, and it's like, you know,
There she is.
Yay!
I ran
you-
from the bathroom.
Oh, thank God you didn't leave a trail, did you?
I'm
Try not
seasick.
to. Put that light on, baby.
All
Thank you
right.
so much.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
better.
some of these Botox lips, they just look like they look like they're always kissing. It's like ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah. Well, can I go there?
Yeah.
Well, aren't lips meant to resemble the vagina?
I don't know. If they were, then there would be a lump on one side.
Yeah.
That's how I go there. I just
Well-
graphically.
Use the other one.
Anyway, no, I don't know. It'd be funny to put. I think they actually use Botox in some scar repairing. Believe it
Yeah.
or not, there's something like that.
Well, it's like, did you know that crazy glue was originated during one of the wars to close up bullet wounds and knife wounds and stuff? They
On the
figured to
spot.
just-
Yeah.
On the spot.
Hmm.
Yeah, Max, you got to get more light on you. That's why it's blinking out. More light on you and in back, because right now you got no hair, or
And-
occasionally you do, and now
And
it's
unmute
I'm
yourself.
trying to turn on my ring light, and I'm trying not to disturb you guys
Uh,
while y'all are talking.
All we can see is you.
Yep, you're lovely.
Look at
face.
you. Oh wow.
God, you look just like a girl.
Look at that.
Look like I'm underwater. Now I'm going underwater. Why you guys? Sorry.
She's gone. Somebody take her shoes.
Right. San Francisco's behind me. I'm gonna go take a swim.
Yeah.
Got it, babe?
Who was it? A friend of
You
mine.
can't
said
find
she-
good help these days. You just can't.
friend of mine said she wants to go to San Francisco for a week. I said, just take me. She's got the money.
Yeah, it's an expensive place. I remember it being expensive when I was there in 1980.
Oh wow.
That's yeah. I was living. That's why I was living there. I moved there.
I
in
remember you.
79.
Haight Ashbury.
Yep. Lived right on that street.
I didn't. I flew in with my dad when I was 18 years old, and he goes, "Rob, we're gonna go downtown and have some fish and chips." And this is the Scottish father of mine. And we zip go to Fisherman's Wharf. We have some fish and chips. We get right back in the cab and go to the airport. And by 10 o'clock that night, we're flying to Hawaii on the way to his birthplace, which was Singapore.
Wow.
I was just told this. Okay. Oh, it's
Yeah, I
Okay.
forgot that. I forgot
we
to
missed all
record.
the rest of it. We need
Yeah.
keep
Oh,
it
wow.
all.
It's all right. We
Are
got
we
plenty of
starting
time.
recording now?
No,
Yeah.
that's here, but it's on. It's been on Facebook for a while.
Okay.
So it'll be recorded there. We
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, and then you can look at that. That stays.
Yeah. So Maxine, I've called you Maxine. Was I wrong to do that?
No, that is my name. My mother gave me that name. It's passed down. But
Is
I
it?
supposed to go with Max, yeah, instead of Maxine. But yes,
Yeah.
Maxine just dates me. It makes me look like I don't know, I'm a 80-year-old woman.
Yeah, it definitely sounds much older.
Yeah.
Makes you
I'm
sound like you're
sorry.
40.
All right.
There. Look at that. Now you look.
Let there be light. Let there be house. You can't find good help. Shh, just don't say anything. How's everyone doing?
Good.
We're all good.
We're just sitting here yapping and talking. Nobody's really doing a set. We're just having fun talking to each other.
Good. That's
And I'm sure
blessed.
the studio audience on Facebook, we're probably up to a couple thousand people are watching right now,
1,000.
Can you check actually?
saying what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
And my
How does-
friend Lana's coming into the room too. She'll be quiet in the background. Yeah.
Oh, there she
Hi.
is. Silent Lana.
Yeah, she never says anything. She's really funny, but she
Yeah.
waits till the right moment and then she drops the ball and just cracks everybody up. And she
I
won't
don't
do
mind that.
stand up. She's one of the really smart, just knows what's funny. Just here's a line and everybody does and goes back. So welcome, Lana. The bottom right hand corner. Well, you can see who everybody is. Their names are there. I'm going to introduce everybody. Our fucking names are up there. Yeah. So how was your drive back? Any problems on the way home?
Oh my goodness. Can we just talk about traffic? Rush hour traffic isn't rush hour. It's just a lot of people in lanes. That's all it is. A lot of cars in lanes because they have to be. That's it. They're not in any rush to get anywhere. And you know I'm from New York and we're in a rush, damn it. That's real rush hour. This is fake, but it goes with Hollywood, so it's perfect. Fake rush hour. That's what I was in.
Well, we're back to the Botox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing is that drivers are just, they become so inept. They either drive too fast or too slow. They drift all over. And the worst drivers have the nicest cars. The black and white Mercedes or Audis or things like that. They are the absolute worst. And they don't care. The people in those, and with the blackout glass. You know why
Yeah.
they're blackout glass? So you can't see how big an asshole they are. That's why. And then the other end are the trucks, the big trucks that are too big. And there's a little guy sitting there looking through the steering wheel. And then the other end are the Dodges, the big dark Dodges with the big lights in the back, the Challenger,
Yeah.
Charger. And I said a new one's called the Dodge Cherkov because that's what these guys are. They're
It's named after the Russian guy Cherkov.
oh my God, I got another call coming in.
Oh, Raymond, are you? I don't care.
Hey,
Perry. Oh, well, Perry's on the phone. Rob, meet my husband, Raymond.
hi, Raymond. Hey, Raymond. Raymond's on the new set of Avatar 2.
Yeah, there he is.
There he is.
Is that the way he looks, or is that an avatar of him?
You have to connect.
Hello.
He has to connect the audio. He's trying.
There we are.
No.
There we are.
Okay.
Well, good
Was-
evening, Raymond, and welcome
Hey,
to the
hey.
PFunny show. I'm Perry Kurtz. I'm your ungracious host.
Hello, Perry. How are you this evening?
Doing good. Doing good.
Excellent.
It's feeding back through your phone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
what-
guys live in a temple, like a giant room with all this echo?
You live in a
The
shed.
Temple of Max.
A temple of?
Max.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I've already got the picture. I got the picture.
You get it?
Yeah, there we go. There it is. There it is. She says she's from New York, but she's really from the
What?
the Bronx. Where are you from in New York?
I'm from Brooklyn. Is there
Yes.
Yo,
any other borough? Perry.
what's up?
I was
Yeah.
breakdancing in New York in 1987. 87.
Stop it.
I was, and I did this move. the
Nice.
guys-
Oh, look at you. You still got the moves.
Yeah, well, there's no bones involved in that.
Oh, but that's dope.
Right?
Get on TikTok with that. You'll go viral.
You think?
Well, you can get a shot for that.
We're
You
back to
get
Botox. And the Botox makes a full circle.
Oh,
So
we've been talking about altered bodies, people that put products into their body to change the way they look, like Botox, all this other stuff, and get their cheeks inflated. Bizarre
Yeah.
some of those people look, to get those big black lips. And by saying black, I just mean large and like oversized. And then they get discolored after 6 months, and they have to go in and they get they have to lighten up their lips because they get discolored from some of the Botox if they don't do it right. They turn black on them, and that's where I heard it. So, nothing racial, but I've heard people, yeah, I got black lips now. What are you talking about? You mean you can dance? No, my lips have turned black, and they put like bleach on it, shit like that.
hey, I'm as politically correct as the next guy, whoever the next
Mhm.
guy might be.
Yeah.
But all I need to have sex with a certain individual is the lights off and 2 sets of brushed teeth. And
That's
the rest,
very nice.
the rest, I can estimate. I can, right?
Steps.
You know what I mean? You don't need all the,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I don't even know how to say it. It's like as long as the right things are whispered at the right time, I'm good.
And the parts are in the right places.
Right.
I don't care.
I don't want to
mean,
go looking.
Yeah. I've been with women that look like me.
Like how you
I
said.
don't care.
You slept with a lesbian, Perry?
No, she looks like this.
What?
Hi, how you doing? I don't care. The way
Max,
I
are you
feel-
doing? Is someone doing dishes?
Right. Raymond might want to turn down the mic.
What's that?
It's the chair. It's the chair.
Oh,
His
I wanna
writing
have se-
chair. He's a writer.
Oh,
Oh,
He's got this rickety, lovely chair.
it's my lucky chair. Gives me great ideas.
all right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I won't have sex with a woman unless she is there.
Unless you what?
Unless she is there. If she's not with me, I'm not doing it. And I'm not particular. I just, looks are not important. What's important to me is the connection,
Yeah,
how we make each other feel, and that she doesn't yell rape at any point.
and threesomes.
Yeah.
I want to do a threesome, not for the actual sexual contact, but to judge how much of the time one of the people is more selfish than everyone else. That's all I want to do. Is just have that 8-minute bit on threesomes. I don't want to deal with the extra disease, the multiplication factor. I don't want any of that. I want the story.
Well, when I was in San Francisco back in the early 80s, when you were there was a place called the Sutro Bathhouse. It was co-ed, men and women. And there was a point where I was part of a 7-way. There were 3 girls in the hot tub leaning on the side and 4 guys just going from woman to woman to woman to woman to woman. And this was pre-AIDS. So
Of course it
nobody
was.
Condom.
Yeah.
AIDS came out. AIDS got its name in '84. Before that, I lived in San Francisco. They called it the monkey disease.
Yeah.
Monkey. That's what they called a disease. They said they got it from monkeys. I'm going, yeah, okay. And then when they said it was AIDS, I said, I'm not stripping anymore, and I started going on the road.
When you were a stripper.
I was a male stripper from '79 to '84. I ran the only male strip show for women in San Francisco. 13 dancers, 187 seats would fill up 3 or 4 times a night. Wonderful life.
I only stripped once, and it was no. Hang on, I opened for the Chippendales once.
Yep,
and
they called me to come down to LA, but I was making $3,000 a week up there.
Yeah, I only did one show like this, right? But then another show comes up where they had 4 male dancers, and no one paid any attention. So I said to the DJ, I said, put on, and I asked for Whitney Houston's I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Good.
And I brought a woman on stage with me, and I got undressed in front of her as a joke. And right. when the review appeared in the paper the next day, they said, yeah, there were 5 male strippers.
There you go.
I go, I know I got the moves. I got them. I've got the moves like that guy Jagger, and but Jagger has not got moves. Stop it with the Jagger moves. He moves like a spaz. He's like Stephen Hawking on uppers. There's nothing going on there but he fucking can hold a stage. It was 68,000 people.
Yeah.
So he's doing something right.
Yeah.
He's magnetic,
Yeah, he really.
Ray, for all the shit you put us through as you grab your mic, you got to say more than that.
Come on, I'm like a sniper, a verbal sniper.
Yeah, you are.
You are.
I give you pearls. I don't need, brevity, fellas, brevity. Come on.
Fuck. I got chills just laughing at that. I don't know why. Ray, your picture connotes the idea that you might be an actor.
I am.
Okay.
That's unusual.
There's something I want to ask you, Rob.
Oh.
Okay. So last summer, I did a couple of impromptu voiceover gigs that
Yes.
were a part of this group called the Secret Movie Club Radio Hour.
I've
Oh,
heard of that.
And
I
I
don't know
was
anything about it.
wondering if you ever did those.
I've never done them.
Oh, never mind, because you look just like a guy who did. All right, next question.
I've heard of
There's
it.
no
but I
upside
never
to your
knew what it
story,
was.
Ray.
Yeah.
I know. It's very anticlimactic. Very anticlimactic.
Yeah, I
It's
can.
like a,
but
it's like a David Lynch film. You know, I led you one way and then just dropped the ball, let you figure
Yeah.
out the ending.
it's like Red Velvet, the sequel.
It's the Blue Velvet. Nice.
They always do that in France. It's like, this film is called Rouge, and this is Bleu and Blanc, right? Et Blanc, right? And it's artistic, and I hope you have time. You're going to need a dictionary en français, and you're going to need le petit chien, a petit show, hot dog, and I don't know where the hot dog came from. And you're going to need, I don't know, you're going to need, a beret.
All right.
I guess that's
There
We
we
got
go.
a couple of those.
There we go. A beret.
Damn.
ballet.
Or in Australia, beret. Yeah, you got a beret. Yeah.
A barrette.
There's nothing
I
like
remember
Australians
being-
speaking French.
I was in Atlantic City, and I was still probably maybe a late teenager, and the song came out, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi, or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I walked up to a girl on the beach, and I say, Voulez-vous que je suck my cock or what?
Go.
I got punched right in the fucking nose. She's overhand. She went, bam,
There we go.
knocked me on my ass. You know, and then we had sex about 3 hours later.
That's
Nice.
absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, because I can sound like I speak a lot of languages. I can fake them. I don't speak them.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
Señor Tipo, toma sap, toma Davis, Guatemala. You know, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but I sound like it.
Well, I actually, one of these, did you ever do the set list one, the end of the world set list?
No.
So I did a set list thing where they prompt you, and somehow in the same set, I did German and French, but I do
my
speak
God.
French because of my Canadian indoctrination thing, the communism that runs whatever we're in here. And we, you know, like, voulez-vous coucher avec moi, you know, but I learned my accent, mon accent français. Now there's Québécois, right? Which is, j'espère. So je ne sais pas, j'espère, you know, they drop a shitload of letters and you just got to know.
Yeah.
And I mentioned poutine earlier, which is, who knows what poutine is?
I thought it was Bhutan.
Oh,
That we talked about that earlier. The mistake, brevity. I'd love to rehearse with you, Ray. Like you'd be the guy, Raymond. Whatever.
yes.
Come on, shut up.
No,
You got the
no,
boxer
Ray.
name. You go with the boxer name. But you'd be
Only
fun
one,
to.
Sugar Ray.
You'd be fun to rehearse with. You know, you're hanging out. You're both reading the script. You're both on book.
Uh-huh.
You know, you're supposed to show up off book. And then Raymond shows up and he's still reading. And then Rob pulls out his script and he's still reading. And we're sitting at the back and we're some choral piece. And we're like, do you remember your lines? I don't remember my lines. Let's fucking do it. And
Well, let's just wing it.
Yeah, well, it's just, yeah.
We can
Like,
write better than this piece of shit anyways, right? This guy
Oh.
can't write anyways.
yeah, I've done a million of those. Okay, here's basically what we need you to do, and if you can make it up. I did a thing for some lawyer organization where I was supposed to be an attorney, and there was a woman attorney telling me that this group that came back from the dead now wants $30 million for all their albums that were out. And they said, you're not good. And I just went off and it came out great. And she was great. And just, I love shit like that. I love when they just say, here's basically what we want. Just go with it.
Yep. I did a commercial for Toyota up here So back to the French thing. The French thing is, poutine is prostitute, right? But poutine is a meal that we have here. So sometimes we get those confused.
I would. You can eat them both.
Yeah, and poutine is generally potatoes, usually fried potatoes, fries with a ham sometimes, but always cheese curds melted with gravy. It's amazing. It's pure after pub. That's what you eat after the pub, right? You go to the bar and it just fills your arteries, and then you sort of amble home and right.
And that's
Never
big
good.
in Canada, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere in Canada, but it wasn't always. And there was a time where I tried it first over the age of 20, and now it's marketed to shit. But you could do fried potato, like a roast potato, and then you could do a roast potato with all that too, but not a big roast potato, tiny ones, little ones. They got to be little. And then cheese curds melted over top. Right. What do you think, Silent Lana?
Wish I could see Silent Lana.
I know.
She very rare she makes an appearance. But
Okay.
if she comes up with something that she thinks is real funny, she'll just wait for a quiet moment and then punch it right out.
Are you sure she's listening? She may have gone
Yeah.
to something like I did.
No, she's actually a friend of mine. I've
Oh.
been Zooming with her for over a year now. Isn't that right,
Oh.
Lana? Yeah.
I can hear. So back to the Toyota story. I did this Toyota commercial in Ontario, and it was real people selling real cars or something. So I'm the real guy, and we're in 3 different commercials in a rave. And I did used to break dance, right? This is real. And so I'm this guy in a suit breakdancing with all these kids who are into the hip hop and whatnot. Or it was electronic crap that I had to dance to. And for like 7 hours.
Oh,
I have
God.
never been so tired. Right. And they shot that on the first day. Right. Now I have 2 more days where I'm dead fucking tired. And another scene, they do a camera lock off where I'm grabbing something and a guy's chopping in the spot. So they separate it so he can chop and they'll just put it together. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But if we tried it before the lock off, and I was like, is there any way we could do a lock off on this? Because I don't want to lose my fingers. I'm tired from yesterday, dancing all day. So that was that. And then the third episode is I'm in a nudist colony, and I spent my whole day with a G-string on, which has its advantages in terms of having sex on set.
Yes.
But luckily, I didn't suffer from any level of interest in anyone. No angular difference was seen. Perry.
You had to slip that in, didn't you?
Yeah.
Slip,
Yeah, and it's funny commercial. I'll post it.
I would love to see that. Max,
It was
have you done
good. It
any
was good
commercials?
stuff. Oh, the reason I brought it up is because
Oh.
they let us play.
Oh,
They let us play. They knew that he and I had chemistry, the other salesman. And I'm like, his actual name is Jean Daigle, like Daigle. So en français, Jean Daigle.
oh, I see.
Daigle.
sounds
What-
delightful to me.
Part of Canada?
Where do I live? Where have
Yeah.
I been? I'm from Toronto.
I thought so, yeah.
And I live in Victoria here, which is West Coast.
Vancouver area. I haven't been over the West Coast side of the Canada area.
Where do you live
Nice
now?
up there.
I live in North Hollywood,
Right.
but from New York, so I've been to Toronto a couple times, and Quebec and
Did you go to
Niagara
Quebec
Falls.
City? Did you go to Quebec City?
I think so, because is that where they do a lot of shooting of movies? Because that's where I was.
Well, so the old Montreal is amazing, and
Yes.
old Quebec is amazing.
okay,
but-
so I was in Montreal.
Oh yeah, I figured it was Montreal. If it's shooting, it's usually Montreal. Quebec is too. It's like all 1500s, like the real deal ancient fucking buildings, stone. And then Montreal, they have like this warehousing district with cobbled streets. You know, it's the same era as Jamestown, Virginia, right? Like it's that era, but they had to build with stone because that's all they had in that area. And also because it's cold. So you build with stone and you get these 400 or 500-year-old buildings. Pretty amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. And they're racist.
I was going to say, and that's what I think of when you say Jamestown. I was like, you lost me at Jamestown.
Why? Why was that?
Jamestown, Virginia?
Yeah, but the old town, whatever it is, like the original town that where they landed.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Oh, sorry. I just figured it out.
I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Oh, fuck.
It's
So,
okay. You're good.
Perry. Okay, so
hard.
Next.
I'm an idiot. I'm Canadian, though. We got rid of that sooner. Fucking without provocation either. We just thought it was inhumane.
But it
So,
was time to acknowledge and
right.
say sorry. Like you have to acknowledge, you have to pay.
Yeah, I think so.
My people have not gotten any reparations, and everyone else has.
Right.
Everyone has gone through any kind of chattel slavery. I don't care if you compare any other sort of slavery. Nothing is like chattel slavery. So,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of rationalization of bad attitudes with things like indentured servitude.
how do you?
Right.
Why intellectualize about it? Just stop it. Just
Right.
stop.
There's a difference between you didn't pay your cab fare, so you got to wash the dishes, and for 3 years, and having 4 or 5 generations of people landlocked to a single piece of property and never leaving.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
And
So if I showed you, I'll show you where my people are from, because let my people go. You can hate me. You can hate me. Hello. But my people, this is where they come. Can you see that?
looks like Staten Island.
Yeah, it's not really where they're from.
Looks like Loch Ness.
This is the island off where I walk my dog every day. That's a picture I took. I do photography. There's another shot. So I've done my DNA, right? And
Somebody's got a call coming in.
I'm looking around for any beeping devices, and there's nothing. This is my son.
Please, as you were. Give me 5 seconds.
Oh,
Okay.
are we back?
I
Yeah.
don't think we left.
We're gonna have to edit. Thanks, Max. I'm just kidding.
And scene.
Right. So the first person who got in contact when I did my DNA was a woman of color named Valerie Austin. Right. Now, my family is a first generation North American family as of 1955 or 6.
Okay.
So there's no reason for me to believe I have anything to do with anything regarding what we're talking about. And and my family is as left leaning as you can imagine, really, like that way, liberal, right? And proud of it. And I have been described communists, like shit in my family, that not in a negative sense, but humanistic, right?
Mhm.
And my dad's name's Malcolm. That's how far we went. That doesn't mean anything, but you get the point. Like we're of the people and by the people. And my people are from an island that is flat and there's fuck all on it. And I still to this day don't know what they ate other than maybe fish, right? Like 800, 900 years of that, Vikings who think they've hit the mother lode from Norway where there's snow on the ground 9 months a year to Scotland where there's no snow, but now they're growing barley maybe and the sheep are only this big, which is hard on the knees when you're fucking them. Right?
That is so true.
Isn't it?
I learned
But
that the
so
hard
these are
way.
my people. There's people in the Shetland Islands, the Orkneys, and northern Scotland, the mainland.
And my
Britain.
family came from Russia in 1905.
I remember you guys when they showed
Yeah.
up.
Yep. They're still talking about it. Fucking
So-
Jews.
Valerie Austin calls me up and says, "Hi, I'm Valerie Austin. My partner, is Michael Austin, and he's related to you." And I go through the list and I go, yeah, there he is. She goes, "I would love to have a chat." And I go, "Okay." And we still don't know how we're related, but we just know that we share genes, right?
Mhm.
So I'm like, I'm scared shitless because I know she's a person of color. I also know she's from Alabama and also Harlem. And I don't know what's going on, right?
Mhm.
So we do the tree and I find the link on my side. And I said, "I think I know what it is." And she goes, "What is it?" Because we knew the name of the people they eventually were in Canada. So it's Henry Richards and Jane Johnston. So my last name is Johnston genetically. So Jane Johnston and Henry Richards. And Henry Richards was a steward on a boat from New Brunswick, St. John, New Brunswick, to Glasgow, Scotland. And he meets Jane Johnston. She is 17 years old. He is 21, and they fall in love.
Oh.
And they go back to New Brunswick, and they start this giant family that I'm now related to. And I found that link. So no slavery, nothing in that direct line, right? I can't see it. My dad's like the nicest guy. My mom's the nicest person. She's just kind of a bit butchy, but she's nice. You know, some people are bitchy and she's butchy, right? But so I finally we get into contact. Now remember I told you my dad was born in Singapore earlier, right?
Yeah.
And I've been there. But at the time I didn't know anything. And my dad didn't know enough to tell me what he knew. So Valerie and Michael go to a wedding in India. And because their neighbors are Indian, East Indian, they go to this wedding. They've babysat these kids for years and everything like that. And they're best friends with this family next door. And they go to India and they're dancing the Bangla and they're doing the this and they're eating the that and they're having the time of their lives, dressed, beautifully dressed, the whole bit. Then they go to Singapore for no other reason than me. And I said, "Why are you going there?" He says, "Well, we want to look, your grandfather worked at the library in Singapore. We want to find out about him." And I went, I didn't know what to say. Like I'm in tears telling you now. I'm in tears. I was like, "Seriously, you're going?" And they go, yeah, no bother. We just changed the flight and did this and did that. And I go, okay. So they go to the library where my grandfather started the children's library at the Singapore National Library. Singapore was very small at the time. But he's an archivist, and there's books there that are degrading because of the humidity and issues. So they put in cooling systems and whatnot, pre-air conditioning. But they find a solution, and he does this, and he goes to. They go there and they read up all about my grandfather, who I've never seen a picture of, because that's the way fucking life works sometimes. So I don't even know my own grandfather, and they know more and have seen more about my own grandfather than I have. And I'll be going to that library to find photos and whatnot later. Cut to the summer pre-COVID, 2019. I'm driving down to California with my boys and my wife, and we want to go big tree looking, up north is San Francisco and whatnot.
Okay.
And we drive back, and it turns out I hadn't said this, but they live in Covington, Washington, which is just sort of east of Tacoma, south of Seattle, sort of on that corner of the big block there. We have a full family reunion with all my African, Canadian, American cousins and me, who looks like the one guy. This one aunt says to me, "You look like the mean guy who used to," there was a father or an uncle or something who was sort of part white. And she goes, "You look like this and this and this." Anyway, I finally meet Michael Austin, and he looks like my dad. No ifs, ands, or buts. He's got curlier hair. He's got blue eyes.
Mhm.
He's got giant hands, and he's funnier, like joyful. And he's so happy to meet me. He hugs me at the door, and unbelievable. And
Yeah, nice.
I think of Valerie, like Valerie and it's like a special bond because we connected right away.
Mhm.
I don't want it. This is the sort of thing where I don't want anything to happen to her. You know what I mean? Like I'm very protective of Valerie. And now I've introduced her to all my family, in Ontario and whatnot. So that they chat and they comment on each other's things and whatnot. But it was the most beautiful thing in my life to meet this family. And, I don't have a racist bone in my body. I think I'm a racialist, though.
What's that?
Well, it's where you're really particular about people. Like you'd say, yeah, that's not a black thing. That's a Jamaican thing.
Oh, you're talking about knowing the cultures.
Yeah, like
That's
let's not
culture.
fool ourselves that culture doesn't. It's everywhere. Culture, right? I'm joking
But
about
there's-
being a racialist, but what?
Sorry, I'm talking over you.
Well, just that, like in Canada right now, one of the targets of the racism that's going on now is Asian people, but it's not Chinese. It's not whatever. It's Filipinos, and they're going after them because they work in the old age homes that were the
Yes.
primary target of the virus, if you will, or the vulnerability. And so they decide to pay them more, which they should have done a long time ago. Right. And I said, I was living in an old age home 2 years ago because my mom was passing away. And I said, you can't have people working 2 jobs going into old age homes because they're not going to be safe. You got to have one. They should be there 8 hours, done, go home, pay them. Now, here's the problem. Filipinos will work for 16 hours a day.
Yep.
So even if you outlaw it, they're still going to go to work somewhere else and even if you pay them more, they're going to go, well, now I'm making double for that time. I'll go work somewhere else. It's not greed. It's because they're sending the money home. I mean, I guess it's greed, but the fact is their behavior doesn't support the system. Like that's a particularity about this group who have been, what's the word? Impoverished.
I was about to say that's the reason.
Right.
They're
It's like when you see a guy hustling on the streets in New York for what do you call those shows? A bringer, bringer shows. He's got to get 25 people a show or he doesn't get to go on,
Right.
Right.
So
We got that here too.
yeah, it's nuts. So sometimes the person in charge should maybe do their fucking job and advertise.
The producer's
Maybe.
supposed to do that. Not
Right.
We're challenged. We're not in the production side. We're there to get up,
Yeah.
perform, and do our job and get our pittance and get the fuck out. That's our job.
So the first people I'm visiting when this is all over are the Austins. And and they were going to come up pre-COVID. There's a butterfly gardens here, and they were going to come up, and they take pictures of everything. And I go online, I cry every time I see anything they're doing because they love each other so much, and they're a model couple. And he's just this giant man. And he worked in a theater in Harlem because he lived in New York. He met her in New York. He worked at, I think it was the Paramount. Tell me if I'm wrong. Something about the Paramount Theater in New York City. And he was the doorman for all these bands like Jimi Hendrix and everything else that went through this club. And I'm trying to get the stories out of him, right? He won't tell me, like he's not going to tell me it all at once. He's not that obnoxious. But you know what I mean? Like you don't want to sit through that. But yeah, I want to hear he's connected by just being the doorman.
Right.
He's got the movie. He's got the movie.
Oh,
What do you think?
Yeah, I
What do you
got a
think,
friend
Raymond?
Friend who was a doorman at the Comedy Store when I got there in 1999, and now he's got the U.S. comedy competition and a beautiful wife and nicest guy in the world.
Yeah. I watched the documentary on the Comedy Store the other day, by the way.
I haven't seen it. I don't believe I'm in it, so I'm not.
It's a good documentary.
It's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did you perform there, Raymond?
No.
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 Well,
No, I'm just an actor,
right.
comic actor, but an actor nonetheless. I don't perform stand-up.
Right.
So, but I like comics.
I was only there for I was only there from 1999 to about 2006.
At the store.
Yeah, and then they told me that they wanted to have a younger demographic. That's what I was told by one of the bookers who eventually got fired. And I said, yeah, they want younger people. I said, well, what about, and I said a guy's name. And the guy stops typing and he looks at me and goes, did you fuck Mitzi? I go, okay, you got me.
Oh, man.
Well, that was Pauly Shore's funniest night. And I hate to say that when his mother died, I was invited because my name's on the wall. And I was sitting in the back and he gets up and he goes, yeah, I can't believe my mother had to die to get you motherfuckers to all get together. So sad, you know, and look at the people we have here. We got Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew's here because he fucked my mom, and Louis Anderson fucked my mom. Jeff Ross fucked my mom, and Sam Kinison, he fucked my mom, and Argus Hamilton, he just points out like 10 guys in the room, you know, and it was people were falling out of their chairs.
Oh, man, that's funny.
I've been wearing the T-shirt from the party with Mitzi. She was so nice. I miss her so much.
Well, you know what, Perry? It's your show. I've talked too much.
Oh, all right. Take a break. Get a drink of water. The Comedy Store when I got there was 89. About a year or two later, Kinison showed up. Then Dice became Dice. He was originally an impressionist. And his two big impressionists were Billy Joel and Sylvester Stallone.
Mm.
And one night he's doing Sylvester Stallone and he got heckled. And he heckled and he became Dice.
Nice.
And a bunch of them grabbed him. So we went backstage, said, all right, here's what we're doing. And everybody threw in a little bit of that. He became Dice Clay and everybody was writing for him. And, you know, I still see him and call him by his real name. He goes, Dice, I'm Dice.
Mm.
You know, but
he's a good cook, I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I wasn't there in the earlier days, which I think is what most of the movie's about before 89, because I hear about the heyday of the Comedy Store, and I wasn't in that period. But it was a great environment, and the money was amazing. I was getting $250 for a 20-minute set in the main room. I was doing 2 a night on weekends.
Right.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I opened I followed Pryor, worked with Dice and Kinison. I love following Kinison because I would get up and I go, okay, I don't want to kill anybody. Do you like me now?
Mm.
You know? I mean, he was so powerful in his heyday because once he did Carson, those days, if you did Carson, your career was set. You were a big star.
Right. Forever.
We went to eat down the street, a bunch of us, and I think Argus was there, and Kinison, and we're sitting by the bathroom door of this little restaurant, and all the tables were white rectangular squares with a glass top on them, which slid around. Kinnison takes out a screwdriver and cuts 3 giant lines in the top of the glass and just pours in like a 1/4 ounce of cocaine in one of those big straws like the size of your little finger, all in one nostril, 3 lines. And a cop gets up from the bar and walks over and says, "Sam, I asked you not to do that in here. You're going to get me in trouble. Please don't do that again." And he turns and walks away. That's how powerful he was.
It's nuts.
It was insane, but the club was packed. And then by 2004, all these comedy on Showtime and the HBO Comedy Hour came out, and people stopped going to the comedy clubs because they could watch it at home. And the stuff they were watching at home was so watered down and so shitty. They said, "I'm not going to pay to see this shit in the clubs." And
Well, yeah.
yeah, she
What-
dropped the $250 down to like $30 a set, and
So-
it went from 1,800 a week down to about 300 a week. I said, "That's it. We're going on the road."
Right. Well, so I once did a gig in Thunder Bay.
Oh, is that near
So I-
Coos Bay?
Who?
Coos Bay.
Thunder Bay is right up in the northwest corner of Lake
Yeah.
Superior. And I'd driven, it takes 12 hours to go around Lake Superior on the north side. It's just ridiculous. And I wasn't driving. It was the beginnings of my touring days. And I had won a competition that allowed me this tour, 6 weeks or something. Not every night. It wasn't that good. But one of the bars used the video of the show as promotional material, which included my entire act up to that point in my life.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that's nice.
So I learned a lesson that night, which was you've got to have more material than is out there.
Yeah.
And they were singing along to my jokes, like, right? That's when your act is just an act, and you have to get beyond that, or you're going to be fucked in those sort of situations. So, yep, and it was called The Study, and they studied. So what I did is I actually went on. I knew that they had seen the video, and so I went on to. I used to do a bit to In the Mood with Glenn Miller, like da 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 da, right up to the mic and then away and up to the mic. So I do that. That's a minute and a half I've done of my 45 that I'm being asked to do, which is ridiculous at that stage in my career, but that's what happened. So I do that, and then I have a tape in my thing, or I said, "Has anyone got any music?" And I had a tape. Someone had a tape of Mozart. So I threw Mozart in. I said, "Play this." And I grabbed a toothbrush and a jug of beer, and I started brushing my teeth to Mozart. Right. So I've already done the In the Mood. I'm doing brushing my teeth to Mozart because I know that once I start doing my act, I'm literally done.
Well, at least you had a clean act.
Hello. And then I do that, and then I danced with someone on my back. I don't know why. I spat out the beer, which was fun. So when you spit beer at an audience, what you have to understand is you can't really hit them. You have to threaten them a lot, and they start moving. It's like when you use an air blower or whatever on the floor, and the cockroaches run away. So I do that, and I'm spitting. And then last I've got to do my act, and I have about 20 minutes to kill or to finish, and they start singing along. So I'm basically fried at 20 minutes short, and I do it. I get through it, and the guys who are producing the tour go, "Look, we're sorry about that." I go, "No, man, it's a learning experience. I just now know I'm never doing TV again."
There you go.
Right.
Wow. Damn.
And you look at, I just listened to Jay Leno the other day on Joe Rogan, and he said he stayed away from doing HBO and Showtime. He said, well, you know,
Yeah. Hey, did you see last night when we had so and so on?
Yeah. So can I tell Max this idea I had? So I have this idea that I can prove that we're related, right? And the implications of that are not great now that we've been through my last story. But when Erica was on, I said I know how I'm related to her, right? And then I said some things. She goes, "Did you know me or something?" Right? Like it can get strange because people will think that I prepared this. I know I'm related to you. So the problem is then we go, hang on, how are we related, right? And then it gets awkward and ridiculous, right? So that it's supposed to be a bet. The show is a bet. And I go, I bet you I'm related to you. And then you try to prove it. And then you do DNA and you find out, no, you're not related at all. Thank God. Or yes, you are related. Yes.
What a show. That's funny.
Yeah. So
He
this
doesn't
week,
try to do it with me because he doesn't want to know anything about my history.
Hilarious.
I only have one potential, I suspect, with you. Because I think you're Jewish.
Yeah.
I have, you have your odd branch of, when you lived in England for 800 years, there was not a lot of mingling.
I remember that.
Yeah. So the England side is where you would be related if my mom might have Jewish blood in her.
Well, actually, no, they're from Russia.
Right. And there's another
Russia
limitation.
And my father's side was Romanian and German.
Right.
So I am as conflicted as I can fucking possibly be. And I'm a bad Jew. I don't eat anything. I don't like kosher foods. But what I will do is I'll make a bagel with lox and cream cheese.
Yeah.
And I'll put a big slab of ham on top of it.
You gotta like ham. Sorry, but
I love bacon. On Easter, my daughter and I eat a pound of bacon.
yeah.
That's our favorite thing. Just kill it. I love that stuff.
Do you like? So I've been watching a show from Israel called Shtisel. It's on Netflix. Anyone know it? And it's Orthodox Jews.
Oh, that show. Yes. I know about it, and I was supposed to watch it. I wanted to watch it because everyone in the beginning of the shutdown was talking about it.
Yeah.
My sister thought, yeah, we're from a Jewish neighborhood. So
Yeah.
that means
It explains so much. Like,
yeah.
That's where my wife and daughter live. They're in a Jewish neighborhood. They're in the Fairfax.
Yeah. Oh, well,
in New York.
No,
no, Fairfax. Third and Fairfax over there.
No, they're at Fairfax and Pico when they first moved in.
Pico,
my
yeah.
daughter to get some fast food. And we're driving. She sees all the guys walking with the hats on and their yarmulkes, and they got the taluses on. And she said, "Dad, there's Jews everywhere." I said, "Well, the good thing is most Jewish neighborhoods don't have a lot of crime." And she looks at me and she goes, "Financially, they do."
Wow. She is so smart.
Oh,
How old is she?
16 years old.
Wow. And she said that at what age?
At 16, she said this at the beginning of April. They just moved in April 1st. And then they were living there for 7 days. And there was a woman pulled up out front, and you can look this up on the news. It was on foxla.com. She was sitting in her car saying, "Who wants to die today? It's a good day to die." Pop, pop, pop. Who wants to die? And there's videos. The front neighbor took a video of her sitting in her car, yelling and firing bullets into the air, and you can see her loading more into the clip. And you go, "Who wants to die? Come on, just come up in my car. It's a good day. Somebody needs to die today. Come on." And eventually the police pulled up. Well, after they arrested her, they interviewed my wife. And my daughter called me up and says, "Dad, Mom and I were interviewed for the news." And I haven't been able to find that video, but my wife got written up. They said Anita Kurtz was in her kitchen, and she said, "All I heard was the pop, 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 pop." Police were afraid to go near this woman. All I was thinking is, why didn't my wife go down and try and negotiate?
That's crazy.
I was wondering was going.
Oh,
She's an
my
ex-wife.
goodness.
So. But yeah, and so if you look up foxla.com, woman screaming, "Who wants to die? It's a good day to die." You'll see the fucking art. It's on TMZ and everything. They were there 7 days. She said
7 days.
Yeah, they only lived in that apartment for
Oh,
7
I
days.
see.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the woman said she was Dr. Dre's daughter. Nobody's corroborated on that information.
Dr. Dre.
The rapper.
Dr. Dre's daughter goes to
Really?
USC.
Yeah, I thought she was kind of old for that.
No, she's in college. He did this. There's this big news write about he pretty much donated. They got this whole new music wing. It's state of the art. It's crazy. It's fascinating.
Well, that's where they're living, so they're down there now. Right? It's a very well mixed area. It's I guess a gentrified, is that the word, where it's like it's got everybody in there. And
No, it's an Ethiopian community over there.
yes, Carthay Square, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I'm very familiar.
At least
I actually performed comedy over there in one of the many Ethiopian restaurants. They're right back to back.
right on Fairfax.
Right. Yes,
I've played there too.
it's a vegan Ethiopian restaurant.
Yep, I played there myself down the street
Yeah.
from Canners. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I'm on IMDb, by the way.
Oh, all right.
Is Raymond
I
around?
don't know.
I'm
All right,
on
it's my
IMDb.
dad.
Yeah, I'm here.
I'm on
Okay.
YouTube,
I'm
but I
gonna
can't
read.
get my new shit on there.
I'm gonna read the following. Are we ready?
Sorry.
Raymond Parker is a young rising star in the independent film world. Born in the nation's capital, he has appeared in a variety of independent films. In these, he has portrayed a wide variety of characters, from a down on his luck boxer who decides to make a life-altering change, to a womanizing salesman who gets his comeuppance, to a disillusioned, I've got to see full bio here, to a disillusioned detective who makes one last try to do the right thing. In all of these films and more, Parker brings a naturalness to the screen that is rarely seen in other actors of his generation.
Oh my God.
I know. I knew I'd seen you. It is worth noting that 2 of his listed films are award-winning films playing at film festivals nationwide and overseas.
Wow, weren't you Spider-Man? Oh no, that's Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Funny.
I
Well
got
done.
an IMDb
Well done.
too, but I can't. I've got all this new shit, but I can't get it on there. I gotta get the producers or whatever to sign it in.
How dare you eat with me, Max Bird? What are you eating?
I've been putting down sushi since we started.
Have you?
Wow.
Luna.
It goes down like raw fish.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what she said. Hey, that's what he said. She said. She said. He said.
So, how long you 2 been married? He said.
Oh, it's funny you should ask.
Tell him, Max. Count it off.
We've
in
been
fingers.
married. What'd you say? You want to see the fingers? How many
Yeah.
weeks?
Yeah.
4 weeks.
What?
Yep.
Weeks. Nice.
Yes. We survived the pandemic together, and we said, you know what? Some
Yeah.
people are dying, and we are getting married. So let's just do this.
Yeah.
He asked me, and I was like, "Are you crazy?" He's like, "No, yeah, no, yeah." And I was like, "Okay." So we decided the day before. Something about the pandemic. Everybody was talking about how out of shape they were. I didn't realize. I was like, "Oh, not me. I've been walking." No. Absolutely not. I went downtown to try to find me a dress, and you find out you're 2 sizes too big for the size that you used to wear. Oh, that's painful. Painful. So they were like, "I got one last dress." I was like, "Okay," and it was a stretchy dress, and thank God it was nice. It was blush, and we decided to get us a nice mask that matches our decor or whatever. And we were going to one of those places where you can get done the same day, like a civil ceremony we were going to have, right?
Sperm
But-
bank.
Some people call it.
I don't know where that came from. I
That's
apologize
amazing.
from the
He
bottom
gets-
of
I
my
don't know.
heart.
You're a man.
The word association.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but a friend of mine showed me how her sister got married, and literally in New York, she had a number, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm going to one of those DMV places." I thought immediately they were going to say, "Now serving B131,"
Right.
and I was like, "Honey, that's us. Let's go, let's go." I was ready to do that, and you get in there, and it's actually nice. They have like drapes at the altar. They have chairs there, like rows of chairs. I was like, if I'd have known this, and if it wasn't the COVID, I would have invited all my friends.
Yeah.
Just shove, just pack in there, just shove, keep shoving. We got more people coming. But it was nice. They asked me what music I wanted to walk down the aisle. I was like, walk down the aisle? Who's walking down the aisle? Next thing you know, I was like, shoot, I got a phone. I got music. My sister showed up with royal blue on. One of my really close friends showed up with royal blue dress on. So somebody saw a picture and said, "Oh, you had bridesmaids? Oh my goodness, you fucking bitch. I have royal blue in my closet. I could have come down there and be a bridesmaid." I was like, I didn't have bridesmaids. It just happened that way. I don't know anything about who looked at whose dress when I got here. So next thing you know, I'm walking down the aisle crying at the same day marriage place. What?
Yeah.
Because- and we did it. And so now we're planning to have the actual wedding so that our parents could be there.
Right.
Aw.
Nice.
You need a comedian to open for you?
Yeah, you need an MC.
Oh my goodness.
I'll do it for the door charge, okay? That a deal? But yeah, I
Yeah.
got married. When I got married, it was me, my wife, and the 3 kids. And the guy comes in. We got married at City Hall in downtown Los Angeles, a big white building. And it was pretty much the same thing, but we just got led into a room, a blank, empty room. And the guy had an altar thing set up in back of him. So as long as you were looking that direction, you look nice. You look to the side, and it's like, this is an office. And he says, he looks at my wife, says, "Do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband?" And she goes, "Yes." And he goes, "And do you take these," pointing to the kids, "do you take these people to be your family?" I said, "Yeah, what the hell? I'm here." He never forgave me for that. I
And that-
started marriage out with kids already walking.
That's your ex, the present ex?
Yes. And
But
now
you
the
seem to
child
have
is my genetic.
There is a genetic child involved.
Yes, that's the 6-year-old. Yes, she was born when I was 53.
Nice.
Not nice, but wrong, Perry. Very wrong.
Tony Randall all over again.
Yeah, fatigue.
Not in the eyes of the Lord.
No,
Right.
It was time for me to have a baby. And I needed to have a child at that time. I was so miserable with my life, and we were arguing all the time. The baby brought us together in many different ways. And she's if she wasn't here in LA, I would leave. She's the only reason I'm staying here, my daughter.
Aw.
Nice.
She makes me so happy. She's so funny. Oh my God. So
They
beautiful.
usually call them the change of life baby, right?
Something like that. Yep.
Well, I knew I wanted kids, and I stopped being successful or trying to be successful when I had kids. And that often, when you're young, it makes you successful. But when you're old, you look at so many things that you were doing, you go, what a complete waste of fucking time and energy.
Mm.
And I've done this joke before, but because I just saw it. Someone else basically paraphrased my joke the other day, and I've got it. I'll say it, and I'll probably remember by saying it. But that I spent my 40s getting rid of people who were the drag on your energy and your personality.
The one-
It was Anthony Hopkins wrote a letter. He wrote a letter, sort of an AA type letter about the people who cost you energy and drag you down, right?
Right.
And I said, yeah, I used my 20s or 40s to get rid of the people that were trouble, right? Then my 50s to get rid of the family members who were doing the same thing, right? I just don't want to waste my time on, it's my time. Like, we always say, oh, that's my time. Well, it tain't. I hate when people say that's my time on stage.
Oh yeah.
But I say it from what I'm saying from is that I want people to leave on a high, not on an appeasement.
No, you want them to be laughing while
Right.
you put up your shares.
Good night.
I thought I would share my daughter with you. This is my baby now. It's my 16-year-old.
I met her.
Yeah, she's
Ah,
so fucking funny. It's unbelievable.
she's
Stuff she
cute.
says.
She looks just like you. She's cute.
Well, don't tell her. People always say, you look just like your father. And she goes, that's an insult. That's what she says. Don't tell me that. I felt good about myself until now.
She's cute. I remember her when she was really short.
Max, do you have any kids that you know of?
Nah, not that I know of, unless somebody birthed some during the pandemic.
You could have fallen asleep for a couple months. You never know what happens during the pandemic.
Never know. I mean, I did watch Children of Men, so
There you go. You
What's
could've
that?
waited.
I
it's a
forget.
really good movie. They hadn't had a child birthed in 18 years in London, England.
Wow.
What?
18 years. And then out comes a baby. And well, there's an uprising. Babe, why don't you explain the story, please?
Where's he gone?
I don't know. He goes and looks at his reads articles. I don't know what he does.
Right here.
There you go. What is Children of Men about, babe?
It takes place in the future, 2023. The movie was made in 2007, so it takes place in 2023.
Oh,
Women have become infertile, and the youngest living, it's a dystopian future, of course, because in all future dystopian.
yeah.
The youngest person is 18 years old, and he gets murdered. That's the beginning of the film. Everybody else, presumably, is 20 and up, or 25 and up. Anyways, Clive Owen is this, I think he's a government bureaucrat. He's got this crappy job. He dresses in gray. He's, unshaven and, looks haggard throughout the whole film. And he's a kind of a pencil pusher. Anyways, he gets recruited by his ex-girlfriend, I think, played by Julianne Moore, who is the leader of this underground revolutionary group, who's, of course, fighting the oppressors. She hires him to transport this woman. He discovers that the woman is, in fact, pregnant. So now she's this guarded, deity, can't be touched or anything. So then these two groups start fighting. The group that hires him to protect her, who pays him to protect her, ends up wanting to take her from him and kill her themselves. Why, we don't know. We don't know. Yeah. Well, not for the fun of it, but for some,
It's a power thing.
Yeah.
There were a lot of companies, countries, they thought that if you take somebody else's life, you get their power.
Yeah, well, they're using it for bargaining chips, bargaining purposes. Anyways, Clive Owen gains a conscience and decides that he's going to, in fact, save this woman himself. And that's when the story really picks up. So we watched that this weekend. Fun stuff.
Oh, you guys are partying like crazy.
So the honeymoon is over, is what you're saying.
That's reality, right?
Yeah. You know what?
Whack.
I envy you guys. I envy you for your lack of children.
Yes, and you're
Why?
still happy.
Because I don't know how old you are, guys, because there's a level of deception, je ne sais quoi, on this call. Like, obviously, I'm in my 40s, you can see. But how old are you guys? That's really the question. Because to be married, I mean, I can also argue that marriage is really children. Agree
Marriage
or
is really
disagree?
children.
What?
Marriage is really children.
Well, like the commitment to having children is marriage. But I love that you guys. I know you guys love each other because you are very. I can see the match, sort of thing, if you know what I mean. Like, he's quiet and he ambles about. He sort of slinks into the chair, and you could lose him for hours. And then you're walking around trying to redecorate every day. Tell me where I'm wrong. Tell me.
Really good. Rob, you've been doing this for a while, obviously.
Rob's been around.
Reading the room and all.
He's been
Yeah,
looking
the yin and yang, like the soft, the hard, the contrast.
It's definitely that. There's a contrast there.
Yeah, but
There
she
is.
entertains you constantly, I bet.
Hey, it's never a dull moment, and that's for
Look,
real.
she
That's
just
for real.
did something funny there. Look, there she is again.
She'll do stuff to constantly make me laugh.
Also, the way
I-
you each light up when the other one's speaking. It's
Yeah,
That parent.
Yep.
love, nice,
I
simple.
used to
He
have
had
that
his
too when I was
beard.
married. I got married at I think I got married at 40. Yeah. I got married at 40, and my wife was like, whatever 40 is minus 14 years.
When you had this present child.
No, I had the baby at 53
Oh, okay.
in 2004.
Different woman though.
No, same woman.
Why'd you
Been
wait so
married
long?
once. I never met a woman who I felt so comfortable with. My wife is very intelligent, very funny, and we met on the computer on what was called a bulletin board in those days. They only had letters,
Right.
and they were only in one color, and they built themselves in front of you, and you had to wait for it. That was in 1999. It's called LABBS. And we talked for 20 minutes online. She called me, and then we talked for 40 hours over 3 days.
Do you think
I
that
fell in
led
love
to the
with her.
multiple personalities?
I didn't know that until for about a year and a half. Don't mention that on here. I fell in love with her because of the Southern accent. I worked a lot in the Deep South, and I love them Southerners.
Yeah.
So when I heard that Southern accent, my eyes lit up. Plus, when she came over, she had 45 triple G breasts.
What?
And yeah, each one was the size of a soccer ball. And she was 24 years old.
I mean,
And
triple
so-
G. Double I understand, but triple. Yeah.
Triple G.
What do you do with the
Bras.
extra one?
Brassieres cost $187.
Mhm.
And each
What?
one weighed about 11 pounds.
Oh,
Now, that's all great when you're young, but gravity is much stronger than titties.
Oh God.
Down. And the joke I came up with is that now they're hanging below her stomach. They look like stretched out water balloons. We would still titty fuck. I would tie them in a knot and adjust the tension.
Yeah.
But I always tell women in the audience, because everybody looks at tits, at boobs. Men, women look at other women's boobs and compare theirs to them. Oh, well, hers are too perky, mine are perkier, they're too big, they're too small, whatever. They're always judging each other.
Yep.
And I don't know what genetically causes that. But my wife is very funny, very intelligent. She always made me laugh. There have been times we've been out doing stuff, and she would actually quote one of the lines from my act.
nice.
When somebody knows your act that well and they nail you with one of your own jokes, that's the best.
That's cute. What does
Yeah.
she do? Is she
Nothing.
in the Hollywood?
A mother. That's all she is a mother. That's
Oh,
all she is.
really?
Yep, she worked for a little while taking care of a woman like a healthcare worker,
Uh-huh.
healthcare worker. 6 hours a week, and that fell apart. And I've been paying the bills for the past year.
Wow. Look at
Someday,
you.
hopefully, she'll get a job before I die.
Baller shot caller you are.
Well, I can't desert my child, family. They're
No.
all I got.
You know what?
But-
It's a nice. I mean, that's the thing. I gave up. I don't know how funny I would have eventually been or where I would have ranked. I can tell you one thing. I'm not a jackass like some guys. Like you get caught in that world where, like I was on a call beforehand and they were trying to nose me out and right. I'm like, what's the big deal here? I have something funny to say. Just let me say it.
Yeah.
But these are the Toronto guys who should be happy that I'm on the call, and they invited everybody on. I could have bombed the thing, like gone on and screamed with a fake name on the whole bit.
I'm amazed nobody's done that here. When I first started doing it, we were getting bombed every week.
Right. Well, they were. Hey, there's
Being
Dante.
bombed. Dante's here.
Hello, Dante.
Dante, let me know when you're starting your set so I can shut off the feed.
What's up, guys?
We're just talking. Nobody's doing material. We're just sitting here chatting.
We're
Yeah, I'll
reinventing
do
the
it
world.
too. Whatever
Alright.
works.
Just jump right in. Do you know everybody?
I think I know everybody.
All right.
You're a liar.
I think we're at least see the people around,
All right. Well, you know Max.
That'll do.
I don't know if you know Ray or her husband. And then up the corner or downside is Rob Trick. He's up in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I knew you didn't know me because although I honestly, my name's out there a little bit. I got to be honest. Yep.
You got a good voice though. It's very sexy.
I do voiceovers for children's books.
Nah.
Well, I guess I think they picked the right voice because I trust your voice.
Yeah.
There you go.
The dragon fondled the little boy.
Well, now it's going in a direction that I don't feel comfortable going. So
Now this is a milk stick. Put the milk stick in your mouth
Yes, sir.
Stop
and
it.
drain it. Ooh. That's
Yeah. I'm heavily processed on the mic. This is I don't even know. I sit here with my beard on my thing. Like right?
Yeah, maybe that's where the crackling comes from.
Is it crackling?
Yeah, it
Oh.
does.
A lot or not?
Occasionally.
Okay. Well, I've got to edit the fuck out of a whole bunch of videos I've done recently.
What to
For
get
that
yourself
reason.
out of them?
To what?
To get yourself out of them.
Yeah.
I know of a person who has got such
What?
a distinctive laugh that she was told not to laugh loud when a guy was taping his
Oh
album.
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not going to say who it is, Max, but she kept on laughing and they kept asking me to tone it down. And they had to overdub another woman's laugh over her laugh
Right.
for the final tape.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
This is
So yeah, I do voiceover for kids' books.
So I see this is the truth hour. This is perfect.
Yeah. So what, Dante, you ready to rip?
I like what we're doing now. I like this.
All right.
Me too.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about now that you're here? We've been talking about you the whole time.
Yeah.
And now that you're here.
You could do a recap.
Where were you when? Why are you late?
I'm held up today. Like me and my woman, me and my wife run a business, and she's not here today. So I forgot that I got high and I forgot that she wasn't here, so I had to do everything she was doing. She normally does. So it kind of just messed my whole timing up and lost track of time.
Did you have to pee sitting down?
Yeah.
Did she make you pee sitting down?
Yeah.
And is that a snowball microphone? Or is that, oh no, that's your
That's his
I thought
champion
it was your
logo.
shirt.
It's his
I saw
shirt.
the round white thing.
I got
thought
another
it was-
mic. I got mics all over the place.
Hey, oh, you're multi-mic'd.
Yep.
Yeah, because that open mic. I still haven't made it to your open mic.
Hold on. There's an elephant in the room here. Which of those mics do you use for karaoke?
Oh, that's a very good one. But this one,
I know. That's why I noticed. I was like, "Yep, he'd be down with the karaoke."
The same
And
one
an
I do comedy.
SM58.
How many times have you sang "I want to dance with somebody"
You know,
on that
I don't do that. I don't do the whole karaoke thing. My girl does the thing. She fulfills the stereotype. I think I don't really
What
do
stereotype?
the karaoke stereotype. The Asians do karaoke.
It's not Asians. It's Koreans. Number one. Number two, Japanese invented it, and the Koreans took it and
Well-
perfected it.
Well, they took enough from us, so it's I guess that makes it kind of fair, right?
Yeah.
Detect a little anger there, motherfuckers.
Yeah. And the flips like it. The Filipinos are unbelievable singers.
Well, I think there's unbelievable singers of every color and
Yeah, I'll call it.
That's racist.
what
If you ever
You're
want to
saying every race has good singers.
every race has
well,
good singers,
except
too.
yours, Rob. Well,
Yeah.
Dante, if you want to do karaoke, me and some of the comics are going out to the Oaks in Sherman Oaks. I brought them out there. I'm there every Friday and Saturday, and now it's going to be Wednesday through Sunday. So if you want to do karaoke one night, to get a great crowd in there, and it's restricted. You got to wear a mask if you're walking around, but you can sit with strangers without a mask. That makes sense. And well, if you're going to put your mask on, I can put my mask on.
I have a talking flower.
And I'm ready to sing.
And here's my mask.
Here's my karaoke mic.
That's the best mask.
You'll be bringing it, Max.
I'm
There we go.
Ready for all seasons. I feel like
I like. That's good.
Do you remember
What?
that video? Medeo, Medeo, Bumpashikayo. Well, remember they had a background like this? Don't look any further. Someone to count on in the world of the stranger. All right, enough.
A guy did that last week.
Dante, was that your brother?
Huh?
Who was that walking by?
There's a lot of people here.
Where are you?
I'm at my business. No, my business that I own. I own a business.
Can you tell
What?
us what kind of business?
Yeah.
it is?
Well,
You might.
there's a clothing store in the front. There's an open mic there. There's a podcast. There's 2 podcast rooms here and here. There's a bar above me, and there's an office to shoot for rental on that side. So yeah.
No wonder you can afford that hat.
No wonder.
Huh?
Wow.
No wonder.
Yeah, so there's always a lot going on around me. I had to run this by myself today. So
Do you own it?
yeah,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah, it is pretty cool.
See now. Anyway. Yep. I think it's amazing.
I
I think
appreciate
it's amazing. It's inspirational because I don't know if you can see around me. I have a green screen,
Mhm.
and I can put a studio in here, and I can put my son brought me water.
Isn't that nice?
Wow.
Stop the recording. This is history.
Make sure there's no spit in it.
I'm gonna ask you for a favor in 15 minutes.
Who?
You brought
Me?
your water.
Huh?
He's gonna ask you for a favor.
Right. Yeah. It comes. Yeah. There's another side. I promise. Yes.
How old is he?
He's 13.
Oh, nice.
I don't know about that. I think I can do a talk show now. I've learned how to drink on at the end of the punchline. So just say something to me, and then I'll sip at the right time.
How many children do you have?
Let me just check.
Meanwhile,
Two that
Perry,
I know of. Two that I know of.
nice. Meanwhile, Perry's changing backgrounds.
Yeah, I get bored, so I keep changing. Now I'm at the beach, Atlantic City, where I'll be in June. My brother's actually decided to fly me to Philly to see my mother, who's 90. I'll be there on her 91st birthday, and we don't know how much longer she's gonna live. She's been in a nursing home for a year and a half, trapped in a bed. And I do a Zoom with her every Wednesday for about 30 minutes. They bring her a computer, and all she says to me is, "Get me out of here.
Oh,
I am
God.
so
No.
fucking bored. I hate this place. Please get me." And my brother, just yesterday, first time they were able to go, he was able to touch her They let him come in, and he took her outside, and they sat on the patio and ate.
I know an old woman who lived in a shoe.
Shoe.
Hang on a second.
She had so many children she couldn't afford to be a Jew.
No, this old woman, she lived in an old age home, and she said, "Get me out of here," like same as your mom.
Yep.
And they said, "You can't." She said, "Okay," and she stabbed one of the workers in the just to the right of the heart. And they said,
Wow.
"That's attempted murder." And she said, "Well, what do I have to do to make it full murder? They have to die." I said, "Well, that's not fair. I want to go to jail." They said, "Why do you want to go to jail?" He says, "Because they let you walk outside."
Yeah,
See,
my mom ain't walked in over a year and a half,
But
and we don't know how much longer she's got. So my brother's paying for everything. He even said I could get a hotel. I don't have to stay with my friends, which I wouldn't mind doing. But he's gonna pay for a car. He wants me to fly into Trenton instead of Philadelphia. I'm going, I don't know why I would want to do that, but whatever.
so, having watched the show Stissel, I can answer that question, but I don't know if you want me to.
Yes, I do.
I think it's because of the cost.
Because
That's
my
true.
brother is a Jew.
But the thing, what I have a philosophy about it, though. Not a philosophy, but I think I figured out why. And that is that Jews have lived in cities longer than any other population. And the idea of money is part of life when you live in a city. Whereas if you live in the country and you're bartering, I'll cut your logs, I'll shovel your shit, you can trade jobs off, right? Always. That's a constant in the country. And in the city, money is a constant because there's no other way to value anything but currency.
Well, my brother is one of the premier financial advisors in Philadelphia. He won't even take a client unless they got $5 million to spend.
I could fix that bell, by the way. I do metal work.
I do a joke about that. I'm from Philly, one of the original cities. They say they're progressive, yet all this time they haven't fixed the damn Liberty Bell. They can't use some spackle, some glue.
Bondo.
They don't have brown duct tape that matches. Come on. Fucking
Good. Is there no good brazier in town?
No.
I don't even know if it's brass or copper. It's probably brass, the bell.
Yeah, it's brass. Yep. So my brother, his daughters are married to rich young boys, and he lives there with his wife in a gigantic home, a couple blocks from where Joan Rivers used to live.
Wow.
And I used to go out every year to see her. And then when the pandemic hit, I've worked since March 12th of last year. And so I used to go out and see her every year. And then a week after I left, she fell on her coffee table, on her face, broke her cheek, and drove her cheek into her mouth. It actually looked like there was a finger in her mouth. And so she got a concussion, lost control of her legs. And, it's a mess. But she's still funny.
Yep, that's the last thing to go.
And her hair, she got thick hair like me, which is what I got. I didn't get the vagina, though. She kept that.
That is beyond inappropriate.
Thank you. It's my specialty.
But
Now
I'm a
you're
guest on
cracking
your
up a
show,
lot.
so I'll suck up if you need me to.
You were just crackling up a lot, but it's ridiculous.
Was I? Am I crackling on this? Is that?
Not now. It just seems like a certain place. It
Yeah.
does.
I've got my mic is in a vise. So
Oh.
I'll show you here. See if it tilt down. No, won't show you.
Your picture, Rob, looks like there was this TV show where they would what was it in the 80s where they would disappear and then they'd reappear someplace else, they'd teleport.
Are you talking about Star Trek?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Like, you cannot describe the exact Star Trek thing. and not remember Star Trek? Like, how bad can you be? Was
Yeah,
that?
I guess that's Star Trek. That's what you look like you're about to do. You're about to disappear with Spock.
Dante, you missed this, by the way. Our friend. Okay, look at this down here. That is a vice. My camera, my microphone is on a vice.
Quality technician right there.
Yeah.
Makes it work. So Dante, do you want to do a set or you want to just sit here and babble with us? Or
I think I like battling with you guys.
all right.
I have COVID exhaustion, as in I do these shows and I cannot remember who's seen what because the same people have been to all these different shows. And last thing I want to do is listen to someone laugh at a joke I told that is not funny, and they've seen it before. They are able somehow to laugh at a joke that I did multiple times. However, on the same show, I'm willing to do the same joke twice.
Oh. Well, we don't want to force you to repeat yourself.
Dante, are you're in a relationship?
Yeah, I've been with the same woman for 9 years.
That's
So you're 9 years old?
No, the same woman for 9 years.
I'm saying you're in a relationship with your mother.
Yeah, for long-lasting love.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly. Right. That's a good thing. Something to be proud of.
It's your
From
first
the-
best love.
The womb to the grave.
Yep. For better or worse.
Dante, here's another question. Are you ready? Where are you living, by the way? We don't know where you're living.
Los Angeles, California, in Los Angeles, California.
Are you doing the store at all? Or where are you performing?
I did I headlined the improvs mainly.
Mhm.
But like I do the store every once in a while. Someone books me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing a new club, Comedy Chateau, a lot. I'm up there this Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
Yes.
They all love Dante there.
Do they? Where's the chateau now?
It's in North Hollywood,
2
across
blocks from the Ha Ha Cafe.
Yeah.
Seriously?
They're direct competition.
Holy fuck.
Right across the street and down the block. It's absolutely hilarious.
You walk out the front door, you can see the other club.
Oh, you really can't. It's not a joke. It's like really, you could really see the other club.
Really, it's a block away.
Is comedy funny anymore? I think is the question.
Yes.
Not on this show.
What's no, definitely not here. I'm way past thinking that funny is funny anymore.
Mm. Someone's
Right.
burnt out.
Maybe you're jaded.
Burnt out.
Well, I taught comedy, and I also have had so many jokes stolen from me. Perry and I have talked about this.
Oh my God.
Talk
I
about
can't
it.
count how many jokes have been
That
borrowed.
sucks.
Yeah.
And then
But-
they say, but I didn't take it from you.
Right.
You talk about being an old Jew. Who else did you take it from? Fucking turds.
Damn.
Motherfucker.
Thanks for stealing my joke. Rob.
Yeah. You're welcome, by the way. And I think I do it better as a young black woman in Hollywood. I think I do it way better.
You know what is so funny? Speaking of stolen jokes, this one
Ray looks like he's not been paying attention, by the way.
who?
Raymond, your husband.
Yeah, well, hey.
He shows up and grimaces and then
I'm working him into my act. So help me
I'm paying attention. I'm just
help me find a place for Desi down there.
Desi.
Desi.
Dizzy.
Desi Arnaz.
Desi Arnaz. We're
Right,
going all the
yeah.
way back.
Hey, Lucy.
I mentioned this woman today. I met her not far from this island behind me. I met her, and we were talking about clowning because I've studied a lot of clown and bouffon, which is a form of clowning that Sacha Baron Cohen does, right?
Oh, pranking kind of.
Bizarre, like
Oh,
right?
Absurd humor.
Absurd, and it's in a lot of what he does is he takes the situation and he takes his character as far to the opposite side, which makes it believable, ironically believable, right? Like Borat, obviously, Ali G. It goes on and on and on, right? So I studied with the same guy he studied through people. Like, and it's a French thing, and it's got, you speak words with accents and everything, say attitude instead of attitude.
Right. Okay.
Right. And it's all pretentious pieces of shit, but she didn't know things. I was mentioning names. I go, do you know Steve Martin?
Wow.
Of all the names in popular culture in North America in the last 50 years, how could you not know Steve Martin? I almost cried. And it's not because I think he's brilliant, not as some sort of tribute to his legacy, but rather, how fucking in the woods can you be?
I don't know. How do you?
Anyway, I got her number. It's going to be good.
I was going to say, what was I going to say? Speaking of stolen jokes. So this girl thought I stole her joke. She's a comedian, but what's really funny is she's white, I'm black. The story is from Dreamgirls.
Right.
First of all, not saying you can't sing and I am telling you, but no, you can't sing and I am telling you. What? How? Anyway, so she made it work, but what seems bizarre is that she thought I stole her joke. I've been singing that and I am telling you since I was 16 and making it into a joke before I even knew I was a comedian.
Right.
So it's linear thinking, I'm sure.
So 2 years now. You've been doing that joke for 2 years.
There you go.
There we go, Raymond. Hey. Biggity, biggity, biggity.
Hey, you look a little different, Rob. What's going on here?
Different camera.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that. If Dante's going to show his multiple mic situation, look at that. Look at this. And this is green. I love the green screen.
You got the round one, but it's on the back of the chair.
Yeah, it's exactly on the chair. Watch this. There, lift the back. There we go. That's how far Zoom shows have come in a year.
I picked up a big piece of styrofoam that's 5 feet by 4.
Yeah.
Inch and a half thick, and I went to the 99-cent store and I got 5 sheets of green cardboard for 50 cents a piece.
Nice.
Glued them to the board, and I got that stuck in the back of it office chair, and so I got a green screen.
Hilarious.
I love it.
And it's got a piece of cardboard stuck on it where the piece will come off. You can't fucking tell. You don't need to spend a lot. It cost me $6.
Yeah, I mean, but the technology. I'm going to speak Vulcan. Fuck off, all of you. You said you didn't know Star Trek. I'm going to speak Vulcan, and that's that. Okay. For the rest of my time. Sorry, I threw in a Yiddish word. Yes.
Where they came up with the Vulcan language?
Here we go.
Armenians.
There we go.
They all sound like that.
It makes sense.
Some of these countries just shouldn't have been around ever.
I've talked to them about that. They won't leave.
I've spoken to the I went to the consulate. I said, frankly, you're 30 square miles. It's too much. You know, they have too many letters in their alphabet too. They have like 32 letters in their alphabet.
Yeah.
So you're a small country and you get extra letters. That's not fair.
I was in the market last night and I'm leaving. As I'm going out the door, I hear, and it was 2 women in back of me, and they were happy. Scared. I jumped. I thought I was going to get killed, and they were laughing. And they all got that one giant eyebrow that goes all the way.
Stop it!
Yeah.
Well,
Some
of the men too.
That's where the men hold on when they're having. Okay.
I never thought of that.
I know, but they do their sex thing. They actually, it's multiple partners, and it's a chain, like they hold on like this, and the hands are actually.
Oh, Rob, I thought I would do
into
it
a seashell.
Since
What?
we've been talking, since we've been talking about the Comedy Chateau, I thought I would do a quick screen share to
Oh.
go over while I was there. Here's what it looks like. That's the main room inside. Isn't that
Oh.
beautiful. It's all wood and got these windows up there and shit like that. All the tables are round. I was talking to Felix about that.
Yeah.
They're called mafiosa tables.
Jesus.
They're from the back days of Prohibition. And in those days, they eliminated tables with corners because so many people were getting pushed down or knocked down or tripping and falling that the corners of tables were breaking people's faces and arms and necks and heads like that. So they just cut all the tables round because there was so much violence in the speakeasies all the time. And
Well,
so they're actually known as mafiosa tables.
I was noticing the Mannix. Anyone with me on Mannix? It looked like, or Columbo. The interior looks like an episode of Columbo.
Right?
Am I wrong? You know,
Well, Robert Blake
Or
used to
not
eat it.
I love Columbo.
I rest my case. Yeah, Robert Blake.
This is the restaurant
Beretta.
he went outside and shot his wife.
Is it?
Yep.
What?
So is the
Love
dumpster still
Beretta.
there? The dumpster.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's starting to taste really bad.
Yeah.
But isn't there a time of your life? Isn't there that week where you think, just like the old lady, where you think, if I shoot one person, I get free meals for the rest of my life? Like there's a drop dead, there's a fade in, fade out point in your life where you say, you know what? If I just kill one person, I'm pretty well good to eat for the rest of my life. I know it's going to taste like shit, and sure, I kind of like variety in my life, but I'll put up with cream corn and grits for the rest of, you know,
And
in Tennessee State Prison. Let's do this. Put me in jail. And
Right.
because, you know, the one time I jaywalked and I got arrested and taken to court, I was like, well, look, since you've gone to such trouble, is there any way we could possibly arrange a bit of time in the clink for me? I'd like to go to the clink.
you just looked and sound just like Groucho Marx when you said that.
Thank you very much. There was absolutely no chance of influence in that in any way. I like doing old Groucho. Do you like doing old Groucho?
Yeah. So Dante, anything you want to discuss or get into or riff on?
Harry, I'm going to remember that.
No, you won't.
He's muted. Fuck,
Oh,
unmute
muted.
yourself.
You're muted, Dante.
He went mute.
Now you're not muted.
There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I'll let you guys lead the way. It's your show, Perry, and then
What's been going on in your life that you just want to tell people about? What do you find interesting that you'd like to share with our viewers? Both
Do you ever notice coffee makers? They break.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee.
good for you. I don't either.
You ever noticed when you get gas, Dante?
You ever been masturbating?
I
with
just
your
had gas like 30 seconds ago. That's why I'm muted.
Hello.
It was a pretty good one too. I was
noticed-
wishing somebody was gonna walk by, but nobody really did. So,
You didn't get to share that.
no, I
Where's
get
where's your accent from, though?
Washington D.C.
Okay, I like it.
inner city. Thank you.
It's
DC
got
stands for
I was born there.
DC stands for the capital.
the capital, das Kapital.
A lot of people don't know that. I love Baltimore. I played there a lot in the 80s.
Mhm.
And I had the best fucking man. When we go out partying after show, those are some motherfucking parties. And the loop road goes around and around in a circle. You can just get on there and keep your wheel turned the whole time.
Is that true?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the car, but I never drove there.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, I've been in the car because we go to Baltimore for, because you got to go past Baltimore, to go to like New
Right.
York and stuff, So,
So what is your background? Are you Korean?
yes.
So how do you speak Korean?
Yeah, a little bit, not great, but I understand it most of it.
I find that really interesting. Like in Canada, it's a huge thing for people to maintain their language and their culture. Like it just is. It's part of the deal, right? Like, you know, Russell Peters.
Yes.
He used to open for me, but the with Russell, you know, he would not have been as successful as he became if he was in a culture that in a place where the cultures weren't being maintained, because he could make fun of the fact that everybody remembered all the things about, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like bulgogi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Name some foods, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could probably name a whole bunch of Korean foods. I'm having trouble remembering, but we used to eat Korean. There was a Korean grill in town. We went there all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, I'm immersed in Korean culture because of where I lived, because of Toronto. Toronto is just like, it's like a utopia for multiculturalism.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And when the Raptors, so I was in this old age home when my mom was passing, and I would go to a theater and watch the Raptors play. That was that summer they made their run. And I'd see every culture. Check this out. I go to a game and the whole room is full of Asians, right? Predominantly Filipino, my guess is. And then these two Chinese guys beside me. And I sit down, I walk in with my drink and my popcorn. And while I'm sitting there, they get up, they go and get food, and they bring me food.
Wow.
And I was like, I fucking love this city. You know, like you don't get that. I know you're not going to get that very many places. And they wanted to share the experience with me. And I ate that food. I had the worst gas from the popcorn but they were selling, and ironically, they're Chinese guys and they're eating sushi and I'm eating popcorn. I share some of my popcorn, like it's bing, bang, boom all over the place. Right. And we watched the Raptors win. The claw, our friend. Right. Isn't that nice though?
That's really cool.
That's what?
Beautiful.
That's really cool. Now
It is cool.
Now you made me want to get popcorn.
Hello. Well, I'm just wondering, is there not some sort of popcorn making device to your, what would be, I think is your left? What's the black thing behind you there?
That?
Yeah.
That's another Mac. Well, that's a Mac computer.
Oh, so you don't know how to make a popcorn with a computer?
No, I think that would be weird.
It's probably impossible, in fact.
There's a law against that.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
You can do it in a coffee pot, though.
That's all right. Yeah.
I worked with a guy who had a whole lesson on how to make food in a coffee maker.
Yep. I've seen popcorn in the coffee pot too.
You can do popcorn, KD. You guys don't have KD, craft dinner. I just used a reference that you cannot possibly no. Kraft dinner was macaroni and cheese in Canada.
That is not macaroni and cheese.
Well, no, have you had it though?
That's children food.
No.
On the road?
Macaroni and cheese too.
When we go on the road together, Max, are we going to be fighting about what's food and what's not?
Yes, we are. And I'm obviously going to have to cook you some real mac and cheese.
And
okay.
Bacon in there.
And I'll try to bring the portable oven with us.
Yeah.
So
Raymond's coming too, though, because you guys are in the 40-year honeymoon.
Listen, what you have to do is
Yeah.
help me
Yeah.
find a place for him in my act. Help me.
Just have him on stage looking over every so often. He'll know what to do. He's got chops.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, he's there. Look, you've got Max Bird, BA, BEd, ADD, and then you've got Raymond Parker. Cool as a cucumber. So it seems pretty obvious to me.
Yeah, you'll get plenty of material.
Comedy duo made, ready made.
Yeah.
Plenty of material.
We'll get him a real mic, and then
Get 'em
you know
an
what they
adult.
say.
They sell mics for adults now. You don't have to have that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you
It works for her.
yeah,
It works
She's
for
got-
her.
talk about your karaoke mics. I want so badly to live with you guys, just the three of us.
Yes, the three of us. Let me get my-
The polyamorous anthem.
Yeah, I was gonna-
Just the 8 of us. You could just the 11 of us.
That guy, Bill Kirkenbauer from that show,
Yeah.
he's touring, living in Cambodia now.
Yeah. I'm a friend of his. Yeah,
I've
he's
known
got
him
the videos
I've
on.
known him for 40 years.
I remember when he first went bald.
Yep.
Who are we talking about?
The father on Just the 10 of Us. There was a show about Just the 10 of Us, about a father marries a woman and they got like 8 kids.
Bill Kirkenbauer. Kirkenbauer.
Kirkenbauer.
Yeah.
In German.
It's possible. I don't know. You can talk
He-
like okay.
I find what's interesting. And so here's a fact people don't know. The majority, well, maybe they do, but the majority population in the U.S. at the time of the Constitution, the signing of the Constitution, the majority language group was what?
Irish.
No.
No, they were kind of America. They were
Native American,
No.
it was German.
Italians.
It was German.
German.
Really?
Yeah. So
Glad I missed it.
so each county, the majority population in each county in the U.S. at the time of the signing of the Constitution, there were more counties that had majority of German speakers than anything else. So you got to, that's a bit of a gerrymander kind of thing but they chose to go with English. And then you get the onslaught of names that like Kirkenbauer or whatever, like Kirkenbauer, that got anglicized, right? But now people are going back to the German name. You watch. The German names are starting to surface.
Well, my name is Kurtz. People automatically assume that's a German name because it is, but it was shortened from Kurchumsky.
So it's Polish or Russian.
A little bit of both.
So you know that show Finding Your Roots and I'll do the intro. Finding Your Roots. Hey, not bad. Finding Your Roots. I need a
Not
cup of
just
coffee.
like you.
Hang on.
That's what I need. I'll be right back. I got to get myself some more
This week, though,
sugar-free Kool-Aid.
I'm doing this story for you.
Is
Oh, all right. I'll wait.
this with Dr.
And I'll go slow. What?
Is this with
So Finding Henry Louis Gates.
Henry Louis? Yeah, Dr. Gates.
Yeah. So Dr. Henry Louis Gates.
That's right.
This week,
Hang on.
Mark Maron is on. That's why I wanted to tell you, Percy. And he finds out he's related to someone that he knows, which it was on my Chrome. They spoiled the surprise for me, but I'm going to go watch it without remembering. But yeah, Mark Maron's related to someone. Oh, I know who it is. I do. I remember who it is. Do you want me to tell you?
Sure, because I don't have a TV. I wouldn't watch anyway.
Okay. It's Louis Black.
Wow.
So they're related. And then last week, the woman, it was Audra McDonald. Is that her name? Audra was her first name.
McDonald. Yeah.
No, Max.
What?
Oh.
not the singer?
A Broadway performer from
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, Audra McDonald. Who doesn't know her?
Yeah. What part of Audra McDonald did I get wrong when you start? Then you do Old McDonald, and then Stay in frame. Stay in frame. It won't work if you don't stay in frame. So Audra McDonald is related to, so they do the filth tree, Sean Puffy Combs,
Jeez.
right? So Puff Daddy, aka P Diddy, aka I need some help here because I'm running out of.
Puffy.
Thank you. But she goes, I've kissed him. I kissed him. I kissed him. They may be like fourth cousins, right? They're not closely related, but they're related, right? And then there was the one time when Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry David is related to Bernie Sanders, who he plays on Saturday Night Live. Also on that
That's
show,
funny.
right?
I met him once at a party
Right.
in Hollywood. I just moved down here, so it was probably like 91. And I was sitting next to him, and I didn't know who he was, but everybody's coming up and said, "Hey, Larry, I really wonder if you can get me on the show." And they're all giving him their business cards. And as they would walk away, he would just take their business card and chuck them over his shoulder behind the couch. And we're sitting there, and I'm making fun of all these guys, and he's screaming. He just loves what I'm saying. He said, "Listen, you want to smoke a joint?" I said, "Sure." And then he says, "Could you do me a favor and walk me to my car?" I walked him to the car. It was a gold Jaguar, everything.
Right.
And he was like so nice. I never saw him again. And
Right.
he's never called me. Son of a bitch, after I made him laugh. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, yeah, sure." Chuck.
Yeah.
Chuck. He asked me for my card. And Dante's gone. I guess there was an emergency at work.
Dante, yeah.
So I'm a friend of Norm McDonald's, right? You know Norm?
Yeah,
Who knows Norm?
I've met him twice. That's it.
So Norm, in the beginning, 1986, there was a club that opened on Queen Street in Toronto, which made it sort of the hipper club. We were in a chain, Yuck Yucks. So there's 2 or 3 clubs in the north end of the city, more oriented around the weekends. And then the downtown club was, there's actually been about 5 clubs, with this one incarnation. And the Kids in the Hall are across the street performing. And then we're over, the Kids in the Hall ended up on NBC later on.
Yep.
So Norm's one of the guys who shows up and is ripping the room. But he doesn't. So, most guys are down in the green room. Yeah, Norm, there he is. And he would go on stage and we just all ran up to see him, right? We knew then that there was something special about him.
Nice.
And there's, he was a normal guy for a while, and then he hit it.
Yeah.
He hit it. And the thing about being in Canada, the big difference is that we don't make it right away. We can't, because we the paperwork, everything else, everything's going to take time. So you may as well work on your act. So
I
when
should
they
go to Canada.
right, hello. So you work on your act, you get some accolades, and then you can finally go down. Like Mike McDonald, who you know, right, Mike? You know Mike
Singer.
McDonald. No. Mike McDonald was a good friend of Rich Scheidner.
Oh,
He came from somewhere back in her long ago.
that's who I was.
That's what I was thinking about, the singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Doobie Brothers. So
Black
Mike
man was-
McDonald
black man was
and Norm
sold.
McDonald. Mike was the first guy in Canada who could do. So Jim Carrey and Howie Mandel everybody's gone through Yuck Yucks generally at this point. And Jim Carrey is being told he can't do shows outside of Yucks. Meanwhile, his family is living in a fucking homeless shelter or whatever, right? So he takes any show he can get, and he is, as far as I'm concerned, all the right in the world to do it. But he gets told he can't do it, and that's what prompts him to get the fuck out of Dodge, right?
Mm,
We lost him earlier than probably we would have, but he wouldn't be the same act if he didn't get out. He wouldn't have been an actor even close, right? And then Howie Mandel goes down, Same reason. He can't work outside. So people aren't making any money at all. You know, we would make, we'll say you could make $75 a show, but you can't put together a life when there's 20 guys competing for that spot every night.
Yeah,
right.
Good point.
And say you go, so we stood up to Yuck Yucks in Canada and we said, this has to change. This is fucked up. You know, we're basically working for free here. And they were renovating the club one time and we saw the books. And there's nothing worse than seeing the books when you're already unhappy. And we realized they're pulling in like $5,000 a show. I don't know what the real numbers were, but you know, they're pulling in a lot because there's 250 seats times $10 times 2 shows a night. There's $5,000, right? It was a small club with a low ceiling, all the perfect elements of an incredible club. And then they moved. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Why you're trying to get more people in? You think that it's time to grow? Just leave it as the hottest club ever.
Right.
Letterman played there early days. There's a bunch. Anyway, so we get out, we sort of strike, but we don't form a union, we form another company and we start booking ourselves. So now there's 25 guys on the outside and I'm making $1,000 a month now or $1,000 a week, right? Decent money. And you find out that there's money in every gig that it's never not making it to you. You know, those $1,000 paydays from the bar to the club or to the agency is now we can split that. So we're making $300 a night or 200, you know.
Oh.
So you do 5 of those a week and suddenly you're paying your rent doing comedy, but you don't get to develop, right? Because you've got to be good every night.
Right.
And being good is the worst part of comedy because it teaches you, it spoils you. I mean, some guys can develop in that situation. Other guys fall back on an act, if you know what I mean. And anyway, so Norm ignores all this. Norm is too something. He doesn't give a shit about us. Like he's on his own journey, and that's fine. And then he fucking busts loose at Just for Laughs, and he gets signed by Saturday Night Live, and bing bong boom. Anyway, the other week I wrote a pilot with him in mind, because you know how he was getting mad at OJ, like he was all calling out OJ all the time on Saturday Night Live. Do you remember that?
No.
So he's going, yeah, you know, the Norm has got this way of sort of, it's somewhere between a drawl and a stutter and he just, you know, sit in the back seat, sit in the back seat. You know, you can't hear. You went, what was that? I can't hear. I want to hear things. And then you're sitting in the back seat, you know, I want to hear the story. Right. And this is what, how do you invent that? Right. And then it's like that Groucho thing. He's changed where he's like, you know, I don't know, you know, right? And that's his new tact. But he ends up doing like the presidential dinner or the press corps, and he gets all these gigs like fuck. And he some of them he just doesn't do well, right? He does poorly. So in a way, and he's calling out OJ. He goes, you know that OJ driving it's hard to drive a Bronco with 2 gloves. You need 2 gloves or whatever, right? And he goes, yeah, it's too bad because OJ's guilty. Right. These are his jokes on Saturday Night Live. And he gets called out by the executives, and he basically, Dick Ebersol or whoever's calling the shots there, I forget who it was, he gets canned. Right. So the premise of the show is redemption. And the idea is that you have a show with Norm, and he's a caddy. He's the best caddy there ever was, but he was a guy who was meant to be the best golfer that ever was. You know, he's like the best. He's like a guru as a caddy. And but now he's been hired by a pro shop because he can't get any work for whatever reason. And one of the episodes has O.J. Simpson walk in, and that's the sort of joke, right? You go, yeah, I'm looking for a glove. I don't know. Some of these gloves, they don't fit. They don't fit. You've got a big hand. Like, you got big hands there, OJ. He's not OJ. He's not OJ. Sir, you got really giant hands. You could probably strangle a sheep there, you know? A sheep. You ever look at that sheep thing? There's always plural and singular, you know? The deer, the moose, you know? I wonder about that. But those hands, you could probably kill a sheep, eh?
Yeah.
Right? And anyway, that's one of my episodes. So the idea is that they don't acknowledge the story, but there's redemption in the fact that they're making fun of each other. So, and then Tiger Woods comes on. I go, yeah, people told me you were going to be the next Tiger Woods. He goes, well, how can that be? Tiger Woods is younger than me. He'd be the next me, you see? Yeah, that's how that would work. And so now I've given my idea away. And
Thank
stop
God
it.
it's on Facebook for everybody to know.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, I'm thinking it's almost 10 o'clock.
Okay.
We've been on over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours. And I'm starting to get hungry again. Just listening to Rob is giving me an appetite. So,
Raymond, where's Raymond? There he is.
he's there.
I have
Yes.
enjoyed meeting Raymond and Max.
I even enjoyed.
I even enjoy. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
that's nice.
Very
I've
gracious.
even enjoyed enjoying their
good for you.
romantic honeymoon. 3 weeks,
Yeah.
4 weeks, 3 weeks,
4
4
weeks.
weeks. Right.
4 weeks.
Let's
Can't
see the
wait to
ring.
get those
Let's see
figures
the
out
ring.
at home.
Wow.
Look at that. Wow.
Expended one.
That kind of looks good on
She's
your
worth
finger. She's worth
Think
it.
he
Yeah.
makes a good living.
Yeah,
Library clerk.
I've read his IMDb. I'm gonna buy all his movies now,
He's not bad.
so you can get a.
Funded next idea. He's the next Spielberg.
Next Spielberg. So you're directing.
Mm-hmm. I
Well-
write, shoot, direct, and produce.
There we go.
I want to thank you all for being here and all the guests. And I want to thank all the audience members that couldn't make it down tonight because they're all busy. And I'm sure they're all watching the show live on Facebook on my page, which nobody's going to be able to find anyway. But thanks for being here, guys. Rob, always good to talk to you. And Ray, nice to meet you. Max is an absolute delight. I love her. She's could not be a sweeter person. She really is.
Thank you,
So
Perry.
you got
Thank you
lucky.
so much for having me on your show. I've
Um,
learned so much about your history as a comedian. And Rob Trick, my God, you are a walking
Encyclopedia.
comedic encyclopedia.
Don't do the robot. I'm offended.
Wow.
No, Rob, you're offensive.
You used to
Yeah, I
trying
did.
to try.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. I said a hip, a hop, a hibbit to the hip hop. You don't stop. Rock it to. Let me get my mic. Rock it to the bang bang. And say up jump the boogie to the to the beat.
Raymond, we understand, and yet no, we don't.
You get it? You get it now?
Yeah. You are a lucky man, and
I am.
Max, you are an exceptionally lucky woman.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yeah.
very much. Good shows here.
I know you guys don't have kids, but if you need to know, I have a website on how to make children.
Nice.
Miserable.
Perfect.
It's a whole thing. I'm not going there.
And Rob, since you got 13-year-olds, get ready because at 15, they're gonna flip the fuck out. They
Oh, it
will
started.
explode. That's what I'm saying.
It started. Yeah. The
It-
ramp
It's horrible, that period.
to the highway to hell has been begun.
But you're lucky you have boys because girls at 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17 will frighten Satan.
Let me describe having boys in a simple way.
Okay.
I will never have hot water again. Good night.
Yeah, my daughter's the same way. 40-minute showers. Don't your
Yeah.
hands ever get tired?
I said to my son, I said, what you've begun, it will cost you energy and you will be tired from here on in.
Yeah.
You idiot.
Yep.
Now stop playing with that.
Yeah. Do you
What?
think they listen? No.
No.
All right, guys. Everybody take care of each other. Rob, I'll see you around. Max, I'll probably see you at one of Carol's mics somewhere. Don't forget she's inside of the NoHo, I believe, Thursdays, and then outside on Saturdays. And she's at every other open mic in the world. I think she's playing Europe tomorrow night. I don't know where she is. Somewhere.
I hope
Who
you're-
is? Max is.
Yeah.
No, I hope I'm doing I'm gonna jump on Dante's show. Watch. I'm gonna be like, Dante, you're gonna be where? You're gonna be at the Comedy Chateau. That's funny. I'm at the Comedy Chateau.
I'm not. And he wants to book me.
Yeah.
So I just got to nail him down on it. I know that's the trick. You got to get him alone for 5 minutes, and that's hard to do.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
I live in Canada with no
oh,
expectations of anything, and it's the right way to live.
All right.
I
Papers of
pity
any-
you people who have to hustle for a living. I have socialized medicine and I wait 3 years for surgery, and I'm happy about that.
Stop it. 3 years for surgery. At least
My
it's
s-
3.
I can't even fucking walk right now. I need surgery.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my hip fixed. I'm trying to at least get a shot because
Ah!
they want to replace it, but I can't get my hip replaced because I live alone, and you have to
Right.
live with somebody
They can help you around.
Oh,
in case you fall down or pass out. If you live in a room and nobody knows, you'll die. So
Right.
I can't do it. So I'm hoping to just get a cortisone shot. I can't walk barely. I got to put my right leg all the way out to walk.
I
oh.
taught my dog how to help me up before
That's
I
great.
needed it. Honestly.
Smart.
So I used to train dogs, but this is just, it's literally life or death. Like I was like, I need him. Like when I'm on the couch, I'll just say, stand there, now pull me. And he'll pull me just enough to give a little leverage, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. And if you put peanut butter on your cock, he'll lick it.
I was going to say that was one way to get him to do that.
I want to see Max in the same frame as Raymond, because I don't actually believe they're related.
I saw her go by him before. I saw her go. in.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she was pushing her way through the grass.
Is this underwater? Is Raymond underwater?
He's
I'm right here.
All
There
right,
he is,
guys.
there he
Well,
is.
I'm out of here. You all take care of each other. I will see you around. And good night, Facebook. We're done.
Good night. Sweet dreams. Add me on Facebook, Max, Raymond, and anybody watching.
Oh yeah, if you want to put your vitals up in the chat for everybody for under everyone, then well, no, nobody's watching there, so they're not going to get it. So just go by our names. Google us. All right.
Yeah, they'll find us if it
See you
really
later.
matters. Okay.
Bye.
One love, everybody. See you later.
Good night, guys. See you.